So hopefully now all of you have had a chance to fight Amatsu in the new title update 5 for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, or at the very least had a peek at it in some of the videos or trailers that are out there. But with Monster Hunter Rise winding down now and receiving its last monsters in June, players are looking forward to the future. Today we're going to take a look at something that is both incredibly cool and impressive. We do know that we probably won't be getting news on the next mainline Monster Hunter game until TGS, but that doesn't mean that we can't dream of what it could look like. Thanks to GCSTUDIO, we've got an awesome glimpse at what the possibilities of Monster Hunter could be, as they've overhauled the graphics for Monster Hunter Rise in Unreal Engine, and impressively have also created a working Amatsu encounter. So we really wanted to share this with you guys, as it currently only has a couple thousand views on their channel, and of course the demo is a vertical slice, but do tell us down below which visual style do you prefer from the real and recreated versions. Obviously, we didn't make this ourselves, and as we usually do, we want to give full credit to the creator that did make this, so please go and visit their channel, which is linked down below, give them the recognition they deserve for making this, and go show them some love. But speaking about making things, the officially licensed Monster Hunter t-shirts that we've made have just had a restock in some of the most popular designs, including in sizes up to XXL. So if you want to represent your favourite game in real life and support us, check the link in the description down below before they run out, because stock is limited. But going back to the amazing creation by GCSTUDIO, they have of course recreated Rise in Unreal Engine. Back in 2021, they actually released a video showcasing a variety of Rise's gameplay concepts, but overhauled in Unreal Engine 5. And honestly, this just amazed most people on the internet that saw it, as it was not just impressive graphically, but also had functioning weapons such as the longsword. The overhaul looked like something that could have been lifted from Monster Hunter World with the amount of environmental effects and details in a desert setting. It definitely could be something close to what a next-gen Wildspire Waste could look like. This new demo takes a similar run at Rise's concepts, but this time including Amatsu, which we love to see. It looks like they've timed it perfectly with the release of Title Update 5, which begs the question, just how long have they been working on this? As you can see, the demo does look pretty insane, and the fact that it's probably made by just one person is even crazier. The movement of Amatsu is super smooth, and you can see all of the fins are physics-based and reacting to the wind being created and the movement of Amatsu itself. These little details really make the demo look more authentic, and we're just overall impressed. But if you guys are enjoying this video, make sure to hit that like button down below, because it's a great way to support us and it really does help. And subscribe so you don't miss out on all the things we have planned for you guys coming very soon. On top of all of this, they've done an amazing job at replicating Amatsu's movement, as we get to see the water beams, wind discs, and even the iconic hurricanes that Amatsu can generate. If you look closely, you can see the leaves blowing around depending on what move Amatsu is currently using, and this is just another incredible detail. It's particularly awesome that the player is being lifted into the air, and you can see the gust of wind around Amatsu, with leaves flying off in every direction. But one of the most impressive parts of the demo is definitely the environment. If we look back at Generations Ultimate and Portable Third, it looks like they've used the same arena for the base of their recreation here, as we can see a lot of familiar objects and structures, such as the mountains in the background. I love to see the red lightning being used in the background as well, as it looks super cool and really adds to that element of Amatsu being able to control the storms and weather around it. It's really crazy just how far graphics have come in a short period of time, and if you think it's already been 5 years since Monster Hunter World, which graphically looked super impressive. So if there is another new mainline Monster Hunter game in the works that's pushing the graphics of the Monster Hunter series like Monster Hunter World did when it released, then it's probably going to look pretty crazy visually. We do know that a bunch of you will want to know how this version of Amatsu compares to the one that we got in Title Update 5. Obviously, it's kind of an apples to oranges comparison for this one, as of course Rise was originally made for Nintendo Switch and so is limited by the handheld form factor of that console, but it is still cool to see them side by side to spot the differences. And when you do look at them side by side, it just goes to show how closely they've recreated it and what an amazing job they've done. Towards the end of the video, we also got a look at how they did this recreation of Amatsu in the Unreal Engine, and from this we can kind of see just how much work it would have taken, as it isn't just slapping scrapping a model and animations together. They actually had to recreate several different layers on the model for the different components, such as the base skeleton of the monster, the muscles then layered on top, and then the soft body parts and more on top of that, so they really did put a lot of work into making this a reality. And if we take a look back at the other demo, even though they don't attack the monster in this one, they have already fully recreated some of the moves from Rise for the longsword. This even includes the soaring kick, which has the full damage numbers on the UI as well. One of my favorite parts of the previous demo is that they showed off the movement systems from Rise as well. So that includes things like wirebug jumping and wall running. I know there has been a lot of conversation around the wirebug mechanic in Rise, and some of the community are hoping for it to be removed in the next Monster Hunter game, because they want a more traditional, grounded Monster Hunter experience like the older games. And it will definitely be interesting to know where you guys stand on this. Do you like the high mobility of Monster Hunter Rise, or do you like the more grounded, weighty feel of the older games? But since we're talking about returning features, one of the most controversial features that GCSTUDIOs were actually able to recreate was the underwater gameplay that was first introduced back in Monster Hunter Tri. Graphically, I think this looks pretty awesome, but mechanically, I don't know if I'm ready for it to come back just yet. I definitely think the concept of underwater combat isn't a bad one, and could be such a cool thing to experience if done correctly. But the past experience of underwater combat in Monster Hunter, at least in terms of its controls, were a bit mad and quirky to say the least. So I will really like it if they will modernize the entire system. It could definitely be a banger, especially if we get monsters like Lagiacrus back as a result. That would definitely make my year. So what would you like GCSTUDIOs to tackle and recreate in the future? Maybe a monster that we haven't seen in a while, or a map that you missed from the old games? Tell us what you think they should do in the comments down below, and maybe they'll check it out. But make sure to drop a like if you want to support us and this video. And the two videos on screen now, we think you'll really enjoy if you did enjoy this one. Of course, you don't have to click them if you don't want to, but if you did enjoy this video, find it interesting or helpful, you should probably check these ones out too. And then tell us what you think after watching in the comments down below.